What we had heard from immigration advocates is that this is going to provide a chilling effect to parents in the school drop-off line or something of that matter.
It shouldn't be a chilling effect unless their child's a terrorist or a public safety threat. If they are a public safety threat and national security threat, they should be chilled. They should be afraid because we're looking for them.
Well, if their parent is here and they're an undocumented immigrant, I think was more of the argument that they were making.
They're not off the table either. I mean, they're in the country illegally, they got a problem. I mean, it's not okay. Look, it's not okay to enter this country illegally. It's a crime.
That's CNN host and makeupless joker Kaitlan Collins trotting out Democrats' new narrative on mass deportations, only to have it immediately swatted down by the new border czar Tom Homan. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish, and I've got to say Tom Homan might be my favorite member of Trump's new administration, because not only does he take his job seriously, he knows his facts and doesn't get bothered by any of the emotional blackmail coming from the left. Here he is calmly dismantling Collins' manufactured hysteria about ICE going into places like schools and churches.
On what you said earlier about your big priority right now is deporting public safety threats and national security threats. How does changing the ICE policy that allows agents to conduct arrests and enforcement at churches and schools help with that?
There's no safe haven for public safety threats and national security threats. People say, well, were you really going to a high school? Well, people need to look at the MS-13 members and Agua members who entered this country, a majority between the ages of 15 and 17. Many are attending our schools, and they're selling drugs in the schools, and they're doing strong arm robberies of other students. So we not go into schools or hospitals as a matter of practice, but if it's a significant public safety threat or a significant homeland security threat, there's no safe haven. We'll go where we need to go to take them off the street.
But you obviously are someone, you've been working on the border for years, sir. I mean, you got an award from President Obama for people who don't know watching. And you also, have worked through these administrations. This was the policy that's been in place, I believe, since 2011, and it wasn't changed before. I mean, do you have any reason to believe that elementary schools or churches are harboring, these violent immigrants who are here illegally?
Well, like I said, when the circumstances arise, we got a national security threat, a significant public safety threat, we're going to go where we got to go. Whether it's a school, a church, a hospital. The national security is important. And look, name another law enforcement agency. Does the FBI have those requirements? No. Does DA have those requirements? No. So I shouldn't have those requirements either. We have a national security responsibility. We're going to take these people off the street. If it's out of school, that's what we're going to do. Again, it takes a lot to get approval to go into school or church, but if there's a national security threat, we're going.
The thing that gets me the most about this is Democrats and the media will act like it's insane to think that these places would harbor illegals when we have mayors saying that they'll openly defy ICE agents, TikToks of teachers saying that they'll bar the doors, and liberal organizations handing out educational material on how to avoid ICE. I mean, is it really that crazy to imagine that liberals would use these areas as safe havens or loopholes to avoid deportations? For crying out loud, we already saw how sanctuary cities had no issue displacing students to suit the needs of these people.
You're talking about going after public safety threats, national security threats first, but you just said the aperture is going to widen, meaning the scope of the people you're going to go after. How long do you anticipate before you're in that next phase where the aperture has gotten wider?
Very soon. I mean, sanctuary cities are making it very difficult to arrest the criminals. For instance, Chicago, very well educated. They've been educated how to defy ICE, how to hide from ICE. And I've seen many pamphlets from many NGOs. Here's how you escape ICE from arresting you. Here's what you need to do. They call it Know Your Rights. I call it How to Escape Arrest. There's a warrant for your arrest, and they tell you how to hide from ICE. No, don't open your door. Don't answer questions. Okay, you can call it Know Your Rights all you want, but there's an order for their removal. They've been ordered removed by a federal judge after due process at great taxpayer expense. They need to go. But if we got to play that cat and mouse game, that's what we're going to do till every one of them gone.
The simple fact of the matter here is the American people are finally fed up with all of this. I mean, even Obama had stricter border policies than what Democrats and their puppets in the media have been advocating for. In fact, he had more deportations than Trump did in his first term, but just like the kids in cages thing, the media never talks about that because it doesn't fit their hysterical narrative. Thankfully, though, the majority of Americans are on Trump's side this time, and he and Homan seem to be taking advantage of that and hitting the ground running. They're already at about 1,000 arrests per day, with Homan saying that he wants to ramp that number up a lot higher, which sounds good to me. me. But let me know what you think. How do you feel about the job ICE has been doing so far? What issues concern you the most about illegal immigration? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!